Hey Village, things are starting to kind of get back to a normal routine here at our house. It took a little bit of time, but John and I finally have unpacked. All the laundry is caught up. Actually, that's not true. I have to fold a bunch of laundry. But coming back from Barbados and back to reality, it was a little bit of a shock. So we tried to ease our way into it. If you didn't watch that video, I'm gonna link it here. It was really fun making that video. And honestly, it's kind of a family video almost. But because we have our channel and because, some of you might be interested in having a trip like that, definitely wanted to put it on the channel so that you guys could all enjoy it as well. And now that we're back from that trip, I updated you guys in a previous video that we're just kind of waiting to see when we're gonna be needed for respite, because as a foster family, we don't have any current foster placements with us right now. We were taking an intentional break just because we had been through so much. I mean, even on top of having a super long-term placement of 18 months, taking a few months off and then having 3 kids placed with us, and then everything that transpired with their placement, it was just really important for us to take a step back, ground ourselves, really recover emotionally from that experience before we add in any other kids, because we don't want to be the reason that they feel any negativity towards, the system that they're involved in. We wanted to make sure that our hearts were completely open and ready before committing. But we are available for respite, and what that means is that other foster families who might be going on a trip and they're unable to bring the kids who are currently with them, those kids need a place to go, and so they typically will go to another licensed foster family. Also, depending on the agency or county that you foster with, you can also have pre-approved caregivers. So if that's a family member who is getting background checked and fingerprinted, and maybe they have to go through some classes, understand the policies and procedures, there's a number of different qualifications, and it's gonna vary depending on where you are. But that's one situation where respite might be needed. There are also going to be situations where the foster caregivers are taking in kids who have maybe a higher level of behavioral, educational, medical needs. And honestly, they just need kind of a respite, a break, so that they can recharge and, again, kind of fill their cup up so that they can continue to care for the children. And foster caregivers should not be ashamed of using respite. It is there for a reason, but just make sure that you're doing it responsibly and you're not creating more trauma for the children. But anyway, so that's another situation where respite would be needed. Also, something that you can look into with your agency or county is if there are group homes in your area and the kids who are staying at those group homes really just need a respite to unwind and be in that family atmosphere, because group homes can kind of have that sterile feeling. And to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about group homes, so I'm not going to say too much here, but the kids can get lonely. They might not have access to, go to different places depending on their circumstances in the group home. And so there's an opportunity for, the youth at these group homes to come to a licensed foster family for the weekend and really just get a different experience, meet an adult who might be able to be a mentor to them. That foster caregiver can, take them to the movies or take them to the zoo, the museum, or maybe it's just as simple as going to a coffee shop and, reading a book or whatever is going to interest that child. And because we're available for respite, we do need to be prepared so that if we do get a call, we're not scrambling. And typically with respite, you have time to kind of plan and prepare, but it's something that I don't want to have to stress about in the moment. So today I'm actually going to be going up to our extra bedroom and stripping the sheets, refreshing everything, setting up some snacks, maybe some extra bonus goodies as well. And I'm going to show you guys how we set up this room, partially for any placement, but also for respite as well, because even though the kids are only going to be staying for a little while, we want them to have that same full experience. And I also have a small little secret, something that I probably haven't shared on the channel, and I'll share that with you guys later in this video. But first I want to say that we're excited that this video is sponsored by HelloFresh. So I'm going to show you guys last night's dinner, which is probably one of our favorite meals. And I feel like I say that with like almost every HelloFresh meal, but it was just so absolutely delicious. So check this out. HelloFresh saves us time, and they offer a wide variety of quick and easy recipes, including 20-minute meals, easy cleanup, and low prep options. And especially after coming back from vacation and we didn't have anything meal prepped, it was great timing to have HelloFresh's delicious options And with HelloFresh, produce gets to you faster than a grocery store, so it arrives at peak freshness and flavor. The pre-portioned ingredients mean there's less prep for us and less wasted food, so we're eating more sustainably. And with the holidays coming up, things can get a little bit hectic. But HelloFresh keeps things simple with recipes and ingredients that cut out grocery shopping and limit our meal prep time. So if you're ready to try HelloFresh, go to hellofresh.com/village14. Use our code village14 for up to 14 free meals and 3 free gifts. Even Crosley was trying to steal a bite. And yes, he has his collar on because he's still recovering from his stitches, getting that growth removed from his leg. That's hellofresh.com/village14. Our code is village14, and you will get 14 free meals and 3 free gifts. If you're new to the channel, this might be the first time you're checking out our stockpile in our basement. But I wanted to bring you guys down here because in addition to some of the essentials for kids who might be staying with us for respite, I also want to throw in some like fun stuff. And it's a little hard to prepare because you don't know ahead of time, you know, the ages or the genders of the children. But what I'll do is I'll get a little bit of a mix, and then when we get a call, I can make adjustments as needed. Right now, I think I'm going to prepare as if we were going to have a teenager. And I will say, like, in addition to all of this stuff, we have obviously the holidays coming up, and John and I really like to stock up throughout the year when we find really great clearance deals on toys. So like up here, we have a baby doll. We have a Our Generation, which is like the Target brand of American Girl. I got this brand new at a garage sale for $3. John had a big buy that had Disney Princess Barbies, and you can actually kind of see in here Frozen blankets. And I even have stuff in here. I think this is more like the teenage bin. This has a lot of, like, after the holidays when some of like the gift sets are on sale, I snatch those up. So I think, like, for example, so this is something that if a teenager was staying with us for the weekend and they were into hair, we would go ahead and let them pick something like this out. This is also how we manage all the kids we have to buy for during the holidays. Past kids who have been placed with us, their siblings. I'll dig into this a little bit more in a future video. So let's see what'll work for respite. And again, we're looking at trying to get just some extra things that are gonna, you know, make a difference. So far, these are the extras that I have put together. So again, John actually got in a bulk buy a bunch of boxes of Tampax. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that upstairs. Also need to set out some pads because especially teenage girls who are just staying for a weekend, they don't want to be embarrassed by being on their period with strangers. Also, this is a blank journal that they can journal or draw in. But I also found this at Five Below a while back. It's Strong as the New Pretty. It's a guided journal. So I'm going to set both of those out. Have a chapstick and hand sanitizer. This actually is going to come in handy because this is not only a cup that they can use while they're with us, but also it has little bath bombs in it. So super cute. And then we also have the lotion that goes with it. So I'm going to set those out in the room. I'm also going to open up, this was another after holiday deal that I got. So not going to set the whole thing out, but just maybe a couple of sheet masks for, again, thinking that if we had a teenage girl staying with us, that might be something that they would like to try. Other than that, we have different activities, but again, it's just going to depend on the child. So when a kid comes to stay with us, we'll take them down here and see if they wanted to make jewelry. There's also this Trolls hair, I think it's, yeah, temporarily hair color kit, which would be a lot of fun. There's also paint supplies and of course the toys as well. Something else we've set up in here, this is a bunch of brand new clothes that's hanging up here. So we have the girls in the front, boys in the back. We got incredible deals on all of this. So this is another area that we would take kids, whether it's a longer term placement or whether it's respite. So up here in the room, I wanted to make sure everything was nice and tidy. We've had a couple of people stay in this room over the last, month or so. So definitely needed to make sure the sheets were fresh. We're not setting up the top. Honestly, that might be something I probably should do because we might get a call for 2 kids to stay with us. So I might go ahead and I'll make that bed now that I'm thinking about it. But whether it's a more permanent placement or it's just respite, we do want to make sure there's a lot of space for them to keep their things. So all the drawers have been emptied. We have the small corner closet that we've created here. I went ahead and set out the things I brought from the basement, as well as a towel and a washcloth. This is also where we keep extra books. So these might have been gifted to a previous kid and they didn't take it with them when they left. We always make sure that it's their choice and not something that they're just like forgetting. This way, any kids who come through have access to these books. And of course, this room is really awesome, especially for teenagers because it has the TV. And generally speaking, this room is fairly neutral. If we were to get a teenage boy for the weekend, we probably would switch up a couple of things. First thing being the comforter. This is actually what a previous placement had picked out, this flower comforter, but we do have one that is gender neutral. And I might just take down the flowers on the dresser and the flower piece that's hanging up here. You kind of have to make some assumptions depending on the kids' ages and genders. And I would rather opt to take those things out and then, see what they're comfortable with. Now I do need to refill the snacks. So I think some of the kids, my nephews and Darcy probably have snatched that up. So we're going to refill that. And the point behind having some snacks up in their room is that they might not feel comfortable coming down and asking for a snack, even if everything is open and they can grab whatever they want. Some kids have some triggers around food and how accessible it is. So this is here as kind of a gesture that, here we want you to eat, we want you to have things that you like. So that's why I think that this is something that most kids really appreciate when they come and stay. And then in the kids' bathroom, we do have a shampoo, conditioner, and body wash that they can use. We also have extras in the hallway closet, but when we went on our trip, I did come back with some of the extra toiletries that they provide. What we are missing right now are products for black hair. So we do have some styling gel, we have a detangler and a curling cream. And we do have some of the tools, but I might need to run to the store to get some shampoo. And something else I want to make sure that we put out in their room is a fresh toothbrush in case they have forgotten one. The toothpaste is in the bathroom, so that isn't an issue. Oh, and here's a little moisturizer. Yeah, I might go ahead and put these out as well. So it's a face cleanser and a moisturizer. So with that, we are officially ready. Now I'm gonna let you guys in on my little secret. So it seems like I've always been that type of person who needs to have kind of a side hustle, something that I'm doing on the side in addition to my full-time job. This is something that both would make a little bit of extra money, but also it would be something that I was passionate about. So before having kids, I actually was a part of a few different multi-level marketing companies, and definitely that time has passed for me, but I will say that it did teach me a lot of really great life lessons, and I've met incredible people through that process. I don't think that I would be as comfortable in front of a camera if I hadn't have gone through all of that experience. But that side hustle kind of died off when I was pregnant with Darcy. It was gonna be taking too much of my time, and I wanted to be, really present as a first-time mom. Now, I've always been really interested in photography, even though in high school, my photography class, I think I got a D, or I might have even failed the class completely. But honestly, it was because I didn't want to be told what pictures to take or how to do things. I wanted to do it my way. So I wouldn't do the projects that the teacher required of us, and then I just had a lot of missing assignments. I was that kid. But I always loved photography, so I definitely turned into that mom with a camera, and I was taking so many pictures of Darcy when she was a baby. I was creating creating little studios in our house, and those just got progressively bigger and more elaborate. And over time, I, really got a lot better at photography. And primarily I was just taking pictures of Darcy and also my sister's family as well. But then friends and family started seeing the pictures, and I started getting asked to do additional photo shoots, and that's how it kind of snowballed. And so I had a little bit of a side hustle after that, where I had like a Facebook page and I started doing different photo shoots for friends and family. Then I thought to make a little bit of extra money, because student loans are a real issue. I wanted to go ahead and try to be a little bit more legitimate. So I think when I started to expand outside of friends and family, I did a Groupon to try to increase my customer base, my client base. And so I had like a very small, photography business for a few years. But I will say it was really exhausting. And honestly, I'm not a huge people person. It really exhausts me. And these photo shoots were creating a lot of anxiety for me. There was a lot of pressure to make sure you're getting the right pictures. Photographing kids is not the easiest thing. And I started to focus more on my professional career. So I really haven't had an opportunity to do a photo shoot until today. My brother-in-law's oldest son is a senior, and they have asked me to do his senior pictures. And I am so incredibly honored. I cannot believe he is a senior. I don't know where the time has gone. I remember when I was in college, which was like many, many years ago, him and his younger brother at the time, they would come and visit at the dorms. And I remember back then, and I'm like, how is he about to go into college? I don't know. I know that makes me sound like really old and like grown up, that, oh, I remember you when you were like this big. But truly, I was, I'm still in shock that he is a senior in high school. So today I'm gonna do his senior pictures, and this is the first time I've been able to do a photo shoot in a really long time. And actually, as a side note, I will share that a couple of years ago, I actually sold my amazing photography camera. Be the Village, the channel was growing. I wanted to improve the quality of the videos. And so I made a decision, since I really wasn't doing a whole lot of photo shoots anymore, that I was gonna sell my camera. It was a beautiful Canon, I think Mark D5. I had amazing lenses, and decided to sell those so that I could get a really good vlogging camera, which is what I'm using now and what I've used for a little while. But this past year, John and I were doing the world's largest yard sale, and we came across something. We came across a used DSLR, and it was a steal. The price was incredible. This couple had actually purchased it because they were going on a really big out-of-country vacation, and they only used the camera and the equipment on that vacation. So the shutter count is really low on this camera. It is practically brand new, and we got the body of the camera and I believe 2 lenses. So we have this one. So this is a 10 to 18 millimeter. And also I believe this is a 50 millimeter. Yep, this is a 50 millimeter. This is a really great starter portrait lens. So if you're doing portraits in photography, this is a great inexpensive lens to get started, and it gives you some really crisp shots. I think we paid, I want to say it was $200, and the retail is several $100s for this. It also came with a camera bag, but I didn't love the camera bag, so I purchased this one on Amazon. I thought it was really stylish. It has a lot of really good pockets. Really versatile. So today I finally get to play around with this camera. I'm gonna do some edits on those photos, get those out to my nephew and my sister and brother-in-law, and we are officially ready for Respite. We're just waiting on those calls. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you're subscribed and that your notifications are on. Over the next few weeks, I'm gonna be reviewing some foster-related movies, shows, series, and telling you what I really think of it. I'm also gonna be sharing tips on how to prepare for the holidays as a foster family. And even with us, we have a lot of foster kids who have been with us and are now no longer in our home. We still have to prepare because we give all of them gifts. And so just kind of navigating those relationships, shopping on a budget, because every year it's more kids that we're providing for. And you don't have to do this. Obviously the holidays are not just about the gifts, but we know that it makes the kids feel so, so appreciated. So be sure to keep watching. See you next time.